Time now for the markets with Leighton, and he has a new snapshot of the catfish industry.
That is correct, Ernest. We'll be recapping the monthly processing report numbers from Tuesday afternoon. Also this week, cattle supplies on our nation's feedlots continue to expand. More early planting this year may boost corn yields as international cotton buyers scramble in the wake of India's move to ban exports earlier in the month. We begin at the pond bank, where there is no doubt plenty of water after the showers this week is around. U.S. processing, meanwhile, is only down 3% from a year ago, so production is picking up some apparently. These numbers are for the month of February 2012. The average pond bank price being paid to U.S. producers was $1.23 per pound. That is 22 cents higher than 1 year ago. Farm sales totaled 27 million pounds round weight, a decrease, as I said a moment ago, of 3% from February of 2011. Processor sales were just shy of 14.5 million pounds. That is down 7% from a year ago. Some cattle analysts are of the opinion feeder market prices have topped out. Supplies on feedlots continue to expand in the form of heavier cattle at slaughter. Analyst Sue Martin is one of those, believing this sector of the beef industry is softening up some.
I'm bearish on cattle, or I have been. I believe that the feeder cattle prices have hit their highs for the year, especially through August. I think that what we've seen is you're seeing way more feeders coming into the country from Canada. You're seeing imports of beef from Australia. And also this past week, we've seen, as of March 2nd, we've seen an increase for the first time since, December 2nd, of an increase over a year ago of imports of fat beef. So I think that we're going to see a market that still pushes lower. Feeders have hit their high. In the meantime, export sales were down 33% from a year ago.
Export sales are the subject of trivia this week, but not exports of cattle, exports of hogs. Here's our quiz question. What is the top destination for American pork? Is the answer Mexico, Japan, France, or Brazil? You'll find out here very soon. In corn, the trade is beginning the waiting process for the stocks and prospective planting numbers in a week. Planting activity and farmer selling reportedly has put some pressure on the corn market this week. Analysts like Don Rose say losses in corn have been limited by the soybean market and also by talk of more demand from China. But he thinks those forthcoming March 30th numbers will help tell the future for sure.
Probably the big issue that I think we have to be very concerned with is the March 30th stocks and all positions report, because we've had a very mild winter, and we think that the chance for a negative stocks in all positions March 30th is probably something that you have to be careful of. So, for right now, we're riding the coattails of tight farmer selling and the South America crop that is smaller, and that's been pushing us up to the upside. And also, we've had a terrific amount of fund buying.
The cotton market is also awaiting the supply and demand numbers at the end of the month. There is talk in some circles that foreign situations may create an artificially tight supply and strong demand towards the end of the season. I asked Extension Ag economist John Michael Riley about this on Thursday morning. John Michael, so back on March 5th, I believe India moved to ban exports of cotton out of there. Can you update us on where we are with that? That's pretty important.
Still seeing some disruptions to supplies coming out of India, and it is, having an impact on the market. But most of that news took place earlier in the month and has been priced into the market. And we're looking at other things going on across the U.S. and across the globe as it relates to cotton right now.
All right, as we record this on Thursday, a lot of showers in at least Mississippi here. How is this going to impact maybe planting decisions as we move forward here?
Well, I think the big acreage battle right now is taking place with some other crops, mainly corn and soybeans. The price of cotton has been heading over the past number of months has really already dictated, I think, in my personal opinion, what those acreages are going to be, especially in this state. But a lot of this rain has fallen in drought-stricken areas in the southwest, Texas and Oklahoma, West Texas mainly for cotton. And I think that's going to really have an impact on not so much acreage changes, but what the yields of those acres might be as we move into planting season.
So that could definitely impact pricing here as we go forward.
Yes, it's not very conducive to higher prices, but it is probably going to be a better deal for those producers in that area to get some rain on the ground.
We're recording here Thursday morning as we sit. Weekly export sales numbers came out not too long ago. What kind of picture did that paint?
A bright picture. They were exports for both the current marketing year and the next marketing year came in higher than expected. So already seen prices move a little higher this morning. But again, the dollar has been strengthening over the past number of weeks, and that has, put some pressure on exports and on price. Cotton really looks heavily at the foreign exchange rates because we do export quite a bit of our crop, and the strengthening dollar hasn't helped, but this higher export number is good.
And we'll close with March 30th upcoming, the prospective plantings. What do you expect out of that?
Well, I think everybody's looking for somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 million acres, give or take, and I don't foresee that changing. As I mentioned earlier, Mississippi, we probably going to be right around that 500,000 mark if things continue to shape up like they have been.
Closing out now in forestry products, U.S. lumber production in 2011, last year, was up over 7% from 2010. This according to the Western Wood Products Association. Production here in the South increased 8.7% in 2011 compared to 2010, according to that association's new report. We'll end as always with an answer for our trivia quiz, and here it is for you. B is the correct one. Japan is the top destination. Mexico is number 2.